Welcome to She Trusts Herself, the podcast for women who are learning to trust themselves, honor their inner voice, and choose themselves without guilt. I'm your host, Tashleem, author, guest speaker, and certified human design reader. Together, we'll explore overcoming self-doubt, building deep self-trust, personal growth, and stepping into the next version of yourself with confidence. In today's episode, I want to talk about the concept of being true to yourself. I want to take you back to early on in my personal development journey. And I was someone that read a lot of books and was implementing things into my life, and I could see the results and the shifts, and I thought this is absolutely incredible. And I wanted to shout it from the rooftops and let everyone know who was around me how incredible these tools were that I was using and trialing. And the thing was, I think I was trying to change other people out of a place of love, but irregardless, I was trying to force change on other people. And it was met with a lot of resistance. And it took me probably a good year or so to actually calm down and stop trying to force things onto other people, even though I was doing it from a place of good intentions, because I realized that it is incredibly hard to change yourself, but it is damn near impossible to try and change someone else. And you could give other people the tools to make shifts in their life, but if they're not ready, willing, or able to, then they're not going to. And it can also end up being a bit of a deflection where you go, oh, I don't need to change, this person does. And while that may be the case from your perspective, you can't change them. The only person that you can change is you. And if you feel that your behavior doesn't need to change, then perhaps it's your perspective or the level of interaction you have with that person. But trying to force others to change will likely not happen, because people need to be ready and wanting to change. The more that you try and push that onto someone else or pressure them to change, the less likely they are. And so what I started to do instead was just lead by example and be quiet about it. And what I found was I was able to make faster shifts in my life because I was just focused on myself and making changes that I wanted to, rather than trying to encourage other people to change. It also gave me an opportunity to lead by example, because I was just trying out new things and making changes. And over time, I grew and evolved, and people would go, oh, you've done X, Y, and Z. Like, how did you do that? And so then it allowed people to come and have a conversation with me when they were ready and wanting to find out what I did and how they could implement it and integrate it into their life. And bless my poor hubby, we were just dating at the time, and I was in my human guinea pig era where I was implementing tips and strategies from the self-help books that I was reading, all of the golden nuggets, and making incremental changes in my life. And I would try and get him to come on board with things and do them with me. And to his credit, majority of the time he did, such as doing yoga. I went, oh, I really want to try yoga and let's do it together. So I signed us both up for a class and we did it for a while. And he was such a good sport about it. Then there are other things. And I think it got to a point where he just went, look, I respect what you're doing, but I don't want to try this. It was the loving reminder that I needed to go, okay, I actually need to take a step back and calm down and accept that just because I think it's absolutely incredible doesn't mean that everyone else is going to as well. That was definitely a good learning curve for me. And that's why over time I have implemented things into my life, and why I have done what I've done in terms of my social media and my businesses, and having outlets such as writing my books and creating this podcast, because I can share my insights and tips with people that are ready and willing to listen and digest that information without forcing it onto other people. Because you have a choice as to whether you listen to this podcast, you have a choice as to whether you pick up my book or read the blurb on the internet and then go, I would really like to order this. And then you may order it and it may sit on your bookshelf for a while. Or you may go, I'm ready to read the information and see how I can
implement things into my life, whatever it may be. But that decision is on you. I've put out things that I think are great and can help you if you're ready to hear, read, and digest that information. But if you don't, then it's still going to be there regardless. You just don't have to interact with it. You don't have to engage with it. If you are earlier on in your personal development journey, or even if you're further along, there may be something that you're incorporating into your life now and you think it is the best thing since sliced bread, and you want to share that with other people, by all means do, but just be mindful of maybe not trying to get them to come on board with it if they're not ready. And what you could always do as well is just kind of document your journey and share it and let others see what you're implementing, and they might go, oh, that actually looks really good. I've been watching this person and I really like what they're doing and I'm going to try now. And you can kind of be that permission slip for other people, or lead by example in terms of sharing your journey, sharing the progress and process of what you're doing as well, and go from there.
And that's a wrap on another episode. If this one resonated with you, I'd love for you to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future conversations, and share it with someone else who's learning to trust herself again. You can connect with me on Instagram, Tash, where I share more about self-trust, personal growth, and human design. If you'd like to go deeper, you can explore my books and offerings, all designed to support you as you build self-trust and step into the next version of yourself with confidence. Until next time, please remember that you are not too much or too little. You're just you. Keep choosing yourself.